Welcome to the quiet edge of the evening, where thoughts soften and time begins to blur. In the hush of night, a simple, steady truth remains. More than 30% of adults struggle with insomnia around the world, gently echoing a shared human rhythm of sleeplessness. In 2023 alone, over 70 million people in the United States reported symptoms of chronic sleep difficulties. Stretching across cities, mountains, and oceans, insomnia drifts like a quiet tide, touching lives with silent persistence. Tonight, we invite you to explore 100 calming facts about insomnia, unraveling the science and mystery beneath each restless hour. If you enjoy these gentle science journeys, I invite you to like and subscribe or share a favorite fact in the comments. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. For now, there's nothing you need to do but rest. Settle in, breathe deeply, and let's begin. Fact 1. The word insomnia comes from the Latin roots in, meaning not, and somnus, meaning sleep. Despite its ancient etymology, it wasn't formally recognized as a medical condition until the early 20th century. Before then, sleeplessness was often attributed to spiritual unrest or a disturbed humoral balance. In medieval Europe, monks described wakeful nights as the witching spell of twilight vigils, suggesting that insomnia held a place between the earthly and the mystical. Even now, science considers insomnia not simply a failure to sleep, but a complex spectrum of over 80 sleep-related disorders, each with its own rhythms and shadows. Like a clock quietly misaligned with night, insomnia turns time soft and strange, a gentle drifting through hours, unspooled from sleep. Fact 2. The oldest known sleep manual dates back over 2,000 years to ancient India, where Ayurvedic texts described nighttime rest as the nurse of all living beings. According to these writings, the balance of wind, fire, and earth within the body influenced not only sleep quality but dreams themselves. Meanwhile, in ancient Egypt, physicians recommended reciting sacred texts or brushing the skin lightly with lotus petals to encourage slumber. Across cultures and centuries, people have searched for meaning in the spaces between sleep and wakefulness, crafting remedies from moonlight, incense, and silence. Even today, modern sleep clinics sometimes echo this ancient wisdom, weaving environmental cues like soft light or cool temperatures into treatment plans. These timeless truths float gently across the centuries, whispering that insomnia is an old companion of the night, always known, always studied, and always just a little mysterious. Fact 3. In 1913, a German psychiatrist named Emil Kraepelin observed that prolonged sleeplessness could give rise to what he called daylight ghosts, fleeting delusions caused not by madness, but by exhaustion. His notebooks described patients who mistook shadows for visitors and window reflections for far-off lanterns swinging in nighttime gardens. Today, science understands that extended wakefulness can significantly alter perception, sometimes mimicking symptoms of psychosis in just 72 hours without sleep. The brain, deprived of its dreaming cycles, begins to fill in the gaps with blurred realities, like paintings streaked with rain. These phantom moments, though rare, remind us of the delicate threads that bind the mind to its rhythms. When sleep slips away, the mind wanders not just in restlessness, but into the quiet lands between fact and dream. Fact 4. Every human being, regardless of age or culture, follows a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that ticks quietly within us, regulating the cycles of sleep and wake. This rhythm, anchored by light and darkness, lasts roughly 24.2 hours, not exactly matching a day on Earth. Without external cues, in timeless laboratories or distant caves, people naturally drift into this slightly longer cycle, revealing that our bodies are subtly tuned to patterns beyond our visible sky. Yet for those with insomnia, This clock often spins out of sync, either rushing ahead or lagging behind the world outside. In sleep labs, researchers measure the release of melatonin, the so-called sleep hormone. Rising in the blood like moonlight begins to silver a lake. But in insomnia, that rise is often dimmed, delayed, or fractured. It's like trying to fall asleep to a symphony that arrives just slightly out of tune, night after night, as the stars quietly pass overhead. Fact 5. The Guinness World Record for the longest period without sleep is held by Randy Gardner, a 17-year-old student who, in 1964, remained awake for a staggering 11 days and 25 minutes. During the experiment, monitored by sleep researchers, Gardner experienced mood swings, hallucinations, memory lapses, and even episodes of paranoia. Though he recovered without lasting health issues, modern science strongly discourages such extremes as they push the brain beyond safe functioning. Within just 24 hours of sleep deprivation, attention drifts, memory begins to blur, and the emotional brain becomes unusually reactive, like a sky filled with sudden storms. These effects quietly deepen with each passing night of broken sleep, illustrating how essential rest is to our thinking, healing, and dreaming. In every living creature studied from fruit flies to dolphins, sleep appears not as a luxury, but as a biological necessity etched into the very design of life. Fact 6. In the vast architecture of the brain, a region known as the thalamus plays a curious gatekeeping role in the dance of sleep. During restful slumber, the thalamus slows its signals, gently silencing the sensory world by dimming incoming information from the eyes, ears, and skin. But for those with insomnia, this filter often flickers, allowing a trickle of wakeful noise to pass through. A distant car horn, the whisper of wind, a flicker of thought, all may stir the stillness that sleep requires. Functional MRI scans have shown that even in moments of supposed rest, insomniac brains tend to remain partially alert, like sentinels standing at twilight. It is as though the mind, mistrustful of the peace that sleep offers, keeps one eye open beneath the veil of night, remembering every sound, sensing every shadow, never fully letting go. Fact 7. The moon, ever watchful in the nighttime sky, may have more influence on our sleep than once believed. In a 2013 study published in the journal Current Biology, researchers observed that during the full moon, participants took longer to fall asleep, slept less deeply, and experienced a shorter total sleep duration even in rooms without windows, blind to the lunar phase. The ancient idea of lunacy tied to moonlight finds a faint echo in these findings, a subtle sway of the mind beneath the lunar pull. Though modern science remains cautiously skeptical, ongoing studies continue to track how geomagnetic cycles and natural light rhythms modulate our patterns of rest. The connection may not be strong, but it hums at the edge of sleep science, suggesting that part of our sleeplessness may still waltz in step with the moon. Perhaps, like tides drawn to distant shores, our dreams too rise and fall beneath its quiet glow. Fact 8. Blue light, the same soft glow that streams from smartphones and screens, carries a silent power over our sleep. Emitted most strongly in the evening hours, blue wavelengths tell the brain to stay alert, suppressing melatonin and nudging the body into a state of quiet wakefulness. It is a light evolution once favored for guiding our eyes during bright midday hours, now misaligned with twilight's natural descent. In 2017, a study published in the journal Sleep Health found that even 30 minutes of screen exposure before bed could delay the onset of sleep by over an hour in sensitive individuals. The shimmer of pixels, though small, can stir the brain's rhythm like a ripple across still water. This is why sleep hygiene now includes a soft call ritual, the dimming of screens and lighting, creating an artificial dusk that mirrors nature's design. By gently releasing the mind from artificial daylight, we invite dreams to return, one softened moment at a time. Fact 9. In the quiet of the night, the brain shifts into unique electrical patterns known as sleep spindles, brief bursts of oscillatory activity that appear most frequently during stage 2 of non-REM sleep. These spindles are believed to play a role in memory consolidation and sensory shielding, acting like a velvet curtain drawn softly between the sleeper and the outside world. However, in individuals with chronic insomnia, studies have found these spindles behave irregularly, often appearing weaker or delayed. Like the missed chime of a clock tower on a foggy evening, these disrupted rhythms may explain why some people awaken easily, even in stillness. The brain tries to protect rest but cannot always succeed. It is a gentle reminder that sleep is not just the absence of waking, but a carefully orchestrated symphony within the mind. And for those with insomnia, that concert opens with unexpected dissonance, playing lullabies that sometimes never begin. Fact 10. In certain populations of birds and marine mammals, sleep occurs in only half of the brain, at a time a phenomenon known as unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Dolphins, for instance, can swim for days without fully sleeping, resting one hemisphere of the brain while the other continues to monitor their environment for predators or obstacles. Though humans do not exhibit this exact split, fascinating research has shown that when sleeping in a new place, the left hemisphere of the brain remains slightly more active than the right, a trait informally dubbed the first night effect. It is as if part of our awareness stands quietly watch, keeping us rooted in vigilance while the rest of the mind seeks restoration. For those with insomnia, this mild alertness may extend far beyond the first night, a lingering echo of ancient instincts woven into the fabric of sleep. Even in silence, the mind listens, and in listening, sleep becomes not surrender, but a careful negotiation with the dark. Fact 11. The scent of lavender, often folded into sachets or diffused into the nighttime air, holds a quiet reputation in both folklore and science for encouraging rest. In a 2005 study, volunteers who inhaled lavender before bed not only fell asleep more quickly, but also reported better quality dreams and a gentle uplift in mood by morning. The linalool compound, found at the heart of lavender's aroma, interacts with receptors in the brain that influence calmness and reduce anxiety. Ancient Romans would tuck sprigs of it beneath pillows, while in Japan, lavender-scented trains were once tested to soothe crowded commuters. Though not a cure for insomnia, the delicate presence of scent in sleep rituals offers a sensory path inward, a thread that leads from the outer world toward the quiet chambers of the self. Like soft fog rolling through a lavender field at dusk, these molecules trace sleep's arrival not through noise or light, but through breath and memory, old as the earth and soft as silence. Fact 12. In 1942, as the world grappled with war and uncertainty, the United States Office of War Information released a pamphlet detailing the importance of adequate sleep for factory workers and soldiers. They warned that even a small reduction in sleep could lower efficiency and heighten emotional strain, comparing sleeplessness to a slow dimming of mental light. Decades later, studies during the space shuttle missions revealed that astronauts, despite the wonders of weightlessness, often suffered from disrupted sleep cycles due to artificial lighting and the absence of a natural day-night pattern. These findings led NASA to redesign space habitats with programmable lighting that mimicked Earth's circadian cues: sunrise in orbit, sunset in silence. Whether on battlefields, in orbit, or in ordinary bedrooms, the patterns of sleep remain delicately tied to our body's relationship with time and light. Insomnia, then, is not just a personal restlessness, but a timeless struggle between biology and our ever-shifting environments, tracing humanity's path from candlelight to constellations, each sleepless hour a shimmer in the great map of being. Fact 13. Among the many therapies for insomnia, one of the most quietly powerful is known as cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. or CBT-I, developed over the past 3 decades. It gently retrains the mind's associations with bedtime, helping to dissolve the tangle of thoughts that often tighten around the edges of sleep. Unlike sleeping pills, which may offer brief escape, CBT-I works like a slow river cutting through stone, reshaping habits over weeks or months. In carefully structured sessions, patients learn how to limit time in bed when wakeful, challenge anxious narratives, and rebuild trust in sleep's return. Clinical studies have shown it to be more effective than medication in the long term, reducing the frequency and severity of sleepless nights. It's a modern echo of ancient wisdom that sometimes healing lies not just in silence or herbs, but in the stories we unravel and reshape within. Like a lullaby learned anew, CBT-I invites sleep not by force, but by invitation, guiding the mind to unclench and drift once more into the soft current of night. Fact 14. Some researchers believe that the origins of insomnia may be traced back to evolutionary survival mechanisms. In ancestral environments, taking turns, staying awake through the night offered protection from predators and natural dangers. This theory, sometimes called the sentinel hypothesis, suggests that humans evolved to rest lightly, awakening easily at unfamiliar sounds or subtle changes in their surroundings. Even today, studies measuring group sleep behavior in remote communities have observed staggered wakefulness, where at least one person is typically alert during any given hour of the night. Insomnia, then, might not always be a malfunction, but a remnant, a faint echo from when night's silence needed watching. In this light, the sleepless mind becomes less a problem to fix and more a vigilant presence, holding ancient roles in a world long changed. The quiet, stretching hours of wakefulness, though difficult, may carry traces of purpose once vital, now misplaced in the stillness of modern beds. Fact 15. While insomnia often feels deeply personal, it also moves with the patterns of seasonal light. In regions touched by long winters and short days, sleep disturbances rise with the darkness. This is especially true in places above the 60th parallel, like parts of Norway or northern Canada, where the sun may vanish for weeks. Researchers have found that during the polar night, melatonin production can become misaligned, leading to delayed sleep onset and increased night awakenings. In contrast, the summer months bring their own restlessness, as perpetual daylight shortens slumber and tricks the brain into false wakefulness. The phenomenon is known as circadian desynchrony, a quiet tug-of-war between the body's rhythms and the turning earth. In this shifting light, humans are reminded of sleep's delicate ties to orbit and season, a dance choreographed not just by the hour, but by the sky. Through days of endless brightness and nights that never end, insomnia traces its path like the slow drift of planetary shadows, patient, ancient, and ever-turning. Fact 16. In the folds of modern neuroscience, researchers have discovered that insomnia is not purely a nighttime issue, but a 24-hour phenomenon. Brain scans comparing those with chronic insomnia to good sleepers show that even during the day, differences persist, particularly in areas related to stress response and emotional regulation. The insomniac brain carries a faint hum of hyperarousal, like a motor idling just beneath silence, resisting both rest and recovery. This constant alertness affects not just sleep, but mood, focus, and memory, subtly shaping how the world is felt and processed. It is as though the dial on consciousness is turned just slightly higher, tuning into noise often missed by others. Understanding insomnia as an around-the-clock condition reframes it not merely as trouble falling asleep, but as an altered cadence of life itself, one in which even daylight bears the fingerprints of restless nights. In this view, healing may begin not only at bedtime, but in each gentle hour of the waking day. Fact 17. The phenomenon of micro-sleeps, fleeting episodes of sleep, lasting mere seconds, reveals how the body can rebel gently against prolonged wakefulness. These tiny moments often occur when a person is extremely sleep-deprived during periods of monotonous activity, like driving long distances or watching unchanging scenery. Researchers have observed that during a micro-sleep, parts of the brain enter sleep states even while the eyes remain open. The person may not even realize they've slipped momentarily into unconsciousness until jolted awake by a missed cue or sudden movement. It's a quiet testament to the brain's insistence on restoration, like the tide reaching for the shore whether invited or not. In sleep labs, EEG readings during microsleeps show sudden shifts in neural patterns, as if the mind were taking a breath beneath the surface. For those with chronic insomnia, these involuntary pauses can both disrupt waking focus and speak to a deeper fatigue, one that no amount of scenery or distraction can mask. Sleep, even when chased away, finds hidden doorways into the hours we guard the most. Fact 18. In the realm of dreams and sleeplessness, music has long served as a gentle bridge between waking and rest. A 2015 meta-analysis published in the Journal of Sleep Research found that listening to calming music before bed improved sleep quality across age groups, notably among those with chronic insomnia. Tempo plays a quiet role. Songs, slower than 60 beats per minute, mimic the resting heart rate, subtly encouraging the body to unwind. Classical compositions, ambient tones, and even certain lullabies stimulate parasympathetic activity, reducing heart rate and blood pressure in preparation for sleep. In ancient China, the guqin was played under moonlight to still the mind, while Aboriginal cultures used sonic rhythms to carry stories into the dreaming. Today's bedtime playlists echo these old traditions, layering soft melodies through earbuds or speakers like familiar blankets. Music, in this context, becomes medicine made of atmosphere, something felt rather than heard, weaving its way into the space where thought softens, memory loosens, and the hush of sleep becomes more than absence, it becomes song. Fact 19. In the invisible layers of our biology, the gut and sleep are more intimately linked than once believed. Emerging research in the field of chrononutrition shows that disruptions in sleep can alter the balance of gut microbiota, the trillions of microbes living within our digestive tract. In return, these microbiota influence the production of neurotransmitters like serotonin and gamma-aminobutyric acid, both essential to sleep regulation. A 2020 study revealed that individuals with diverse and stable gut flora reported better sleep efficiency and fewer nighttime awakenings. This bidirectional relationship gives rise to a poetic idea that our inner ecosystems echo the rhythms of rest, and the meals we eat quietly shape the dreams we welcome. Fermented foods, prebiotic fibers, and regular meal timing may act like gentle clock hands in the body's vast symphony, coaxing harmony between the stomach's quiet gurgle and the mind's drifting towards sleep. In insomnia's long unfolding, the threads of rest reach deep past thoughts and feelings into the winding corridors of the body's oldest chambers, where microbes hum a lullaby all their own. Fact 20. Yawning, a simple act often dismissed as boredom or fatigue, carries mysterious connections to sleep and brain temperature. Neurologists have proposed that yawning serves as a gentle air conditioning mechanism for the mind, allowing cool air to flow in and help stabilize brain heat. When we are sleep deprived, the brain's metabolic processes can overheat slightly, prompting more frequent yawns as a means to restore balance. Interestingly, studies have shown that people yawn less in cooler environments and more often when watching others do so, suggesting both thermoregulation and social bonding at play. For those with insomnia, yawning can become an odd companion, a hopeful reflex that doesn't always lead to the dreamlands we long for. But even then, a yawn is the body's soft whisper, signaling the need to pause, to cool, to rest. It's a breath at the border between day and night, a stretch of air that connects the waking world to what lies softly beyond. In its echo lingers the promise of sleep, slow and unseen, waiting still. Fact 21. The color of the bedroom, it turns out, may subtly influence the quality of sleep. A 2013 survey conducted across thousands of UK households found that people sleeping in blue-coloured rooms averaged the most nightly rest, close to 7 hours and 52 minutes. Blue, long associated with calm and oceanic serenity, appears to signal peace to the mind, lowering heart rate and blood pressure. Meanwhile, rooms painted in purples or browns were linked with the poorest sleep colours, often described as overly stimulating or emotionally complex. While personal preferences play a role, the soft science of colour psychology suggests that our environment, even in hue, speaks quietly to our bodies. Within Insomnia, where control and surrender wrestle gently, this offers a unique avenue of comfort. The walls we wrap ourselves within may not just hold memories, they may hold sleep itself, waiting in shades we barely notice, describing rest in pigments instead of words, painting lullabies in softest blues. Fact 22. In the quiet realm of sleep research, scientists have uncovered an intriguing connection between insomnia and temperature regulation. During the transition into sleep, the body initiates a subtle drop in core temperature, a process that signals readiness for rest. For most, this cooling begins around 10 p.m. as blood vessels near the skin's surface dilate ever so slightly, allowing heat to radiate outward. However, in those with insomnia, this thermoregulatory shift may be delayed or diminished, leaving the body locked in quiet alertness. A warm bath an hour before bed has been shown to gently accelerate this cooling process, paradoxically by warming the skin, which then prompts the body to release heat more efficiently. The result is a lowered core temperature and a faster onset of sleep. From ancient thermal springs to modern bedtime rituals, humans have long sought warmth to summon sleep. Yet it is the cooling that truly matters, the soft descent inward, like twilight sinking beneath the horizon, easing the mind toward dreams through temperature's silent choreography. Fact 23. Across cultures and centuries, the fear of sleeplessness has taken on many names and myths, from the ancient Greek figure of Nyx, the primordial goddess of night, to the Norse Mara, a shadowy creature believed to ride the chest of sleeping victims, causing restless dreams. In Japan, the folklore of the Baku, a dream-eating spirit, was once invoked by children to carry nightmares away. These dream creatures arose not just from superstition, but from the human need to explain the mystery of disrupted rest. Even today, echoes of these stories linger in phrases like sleep paralysis or the old hag syndrome, medical terms that carry folkloric shadows. Behind each tale lies a truth that sleep has always hovered between the known and the unknown. Insomnia, in its many forms, walks through this space, a subtle visitor that resists confinement, inviting us to peer gently into the liminal world between shadow and slumber, where science and story still softly intertwine. Fact 24. The body's internal clock, or suprachiasmatic nucleus, resides deep within the hypothalamus, no larger than a grain of rice, yet responsible for orchestrating the symphony of sleep across every cell. This miniature conductor responds to light more than any other cue, syncing bodily processes like hormone release, body temperature, and blood pressure to the day's rhythm. In people with chronic insomnia, this internal metronome can become irregular, like a song with missing beats. Some researchers now believe that even gentle shifts in morning light exposure, stepping outside within an hour of waking, or sitting beside an eastern window can slowly retune the body's sleep cycle. It is a simple intervention, yet profoundly biological, like realigning shoreline tides with the moon. In this, light becomes medicine, guiding the invisible rivers of time that flow within us. And as dawn follows dusk in steady trust, sleep too may return, following paths relit by the ordinary miracle of morning. Fact 25. Sleep researchers have found that insomnia and creativity sometimes share a curious corridor, where wakeful nights foster moments of unexpected insight. Famous figures like Nikola Tesla, Franz Kafka, and Virginia Woolf reportedly battled sleeplessness, using the quiet hours to write, invent, or contemplate. In a 2012 study by the University of Southampton, students who stayed up into the late-night hours exhibited more divergent thinking, the kind associated with creative problem-solving. Though chronic insomnia is rarely productive in the long term, its liminal state between dusk and dawn may open doorways to associations and thoughts less tethered by logic. The mind, looser and untethered in the midnight drift, sometimes wanders into strange and fertile places. It's a paradox within the emptiness of rest denied. New forms may emerge, shaped from the stillness and hush of night. This strange kinship between insomnia and creation suggests that while sleep nourishes the body, wakefulness too can bloom in sublime and unexpected ways, like a moonflower opening slowly in the dark. Fact 26. Within the silent architecture of sleep medicine, a peculiar phenomenon known as paradoxical insomnia quietly lingers. Also called sleep state misperception, it occurs when an individual deeply believes they have barely slept, yet objective measurements such as EEG or polysomnography show otherwise. These sleepers may spend hours in unconscious rest without awareness, waking with a sense of profound fatigue and a conviction of a sleepless night. The brain, in this case, may fail to register or encode restful moments, highlighting how sleep is not just physical but perceptual. This condition reminds us that sleep is also a story the mind tells itself, a narrative threaded through awareness. Like moonlight mistaken for shadow, paradoxical insomnia blurs experience and reality, revealing that sometimes rest hides in plain sight, veiled not by wakefulness, but by perception's gentle distortion. It is a quiet mirror into the mind's mysterious interplay with time, rest, and memory, a secret sleep beneath the surface of thought. Fact 27. Meditation, practiced for thousands of years across continents and beliefs, offers a soft gateway into sleep's waiting arms. Particularly, a form called mindfulness meditation has shown promise in easing the symptoms of insomnia. A 2015 randomized trial published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that older adults who practiced mindful awareness, focusing on breath, bodily sensation, and non-judgmental presence, experienced fewer sleep disturbances and improved overall rest. The act of gently returning the mind to the present moment, breath by breath, quiets the cascade of thoughts that often keep the insomniac mind aloft. It's not about silencing the mind entirely, but about becoming the quiet shore upon which thoughts come and go. In the hush of mindful practice, the nervous system begins to downshift, heart rate steadies, and cortisol wanes. It is like standing beneath a soft rain of stillness, each drop guiding the body inward. Meditation, in this way, becomes both map and lantern, not chasing sleep, but clearing the path for it to wander gently home. Fact 28. Among the lesser-known contributors to insomnia is the phenomenon of social jet lag, the misalignment between our internal clocks and our social obligations. This discrepancy often arises when weekend sleep schedules drift later, only to be forced back into early rhythms come Monday. A 2017 study led by researchers at the University of Arizona found that for every hour of social jet lag, the risk of poor health outcomes, including insomnia, increased significantly. It is a modern version of time travel without leaving home, shifting one's internal world forward and back in subtle but impactful increments. The body, like a timeless pendulum, yearns for regularity, preferring consistency over chaos. When routine falters, so too does the delicate mechanism of restorative sleep. This repeated rhythm breaking, though often overlooked, leaves ripples across the resting mind, like a song played in the wrong key. In honoring steadiness, the same rise, the same fall, we return to a pattern older than alarm clocks and work weeks, one carved into biology itself, as ancient and essential as the stars that mark our passage through the night. Fact 29. In the landscape of insomnia treatments, one of the gentlest tools is journaling, the simple act of writing before bed. Known as expressive writing or a sleep diary, this practice helps unload looping thoughts that otherwise tangle the mind into hours of wakefulness. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that participants who wrote detailed to-do lists before sleeping fell asleep significantly faster than those who wrote about completed tasks. The key, researchers noted, was the specificity of intention that naming tomorrow's responsibilities eased present anxiety. In this, journaling becomes a cocoon, containing the day's worries within the safety of ink and paper. Over time, it creates a ritual of emotional release, a quiet conversation with self that bridges the day's end and the night's beginning. Like placing burdens gently on the shore before crossing calm waters, writing invites peace by giving shape to thought, not to solve it, but to rest beside it, hand in hand under the stars. Fact 30. The gentle sway of rocking, so often used to lull infants to sleep, holds a scientific rhythm that extends into adulthood. Researchers at the University of Geneva discovered in a 2019 study that rhythmic rocking during sleep not only accelerates the onset of rest, but also enhances deep sleep and memory consolidation. Participants who slept in gently rocking beds experienced longer periods of slow-wave sleep, the phase most restorative to body and brain. The rocking motion is thought to synchronize brain waves, much like the ocean's movement can draw thoughts into stillness. In ancient cultures, hammocks and cradle beds mirrored this instinct, using motion as a balm for restlessness. For the sleepless, introducing subtle movement, even a swaying chair or weighted blanket that mimics gravitational pressure, may reawaken this primal comfort. Sleep, after all, is not just a fall into stillness, but sometimes a drift, a cradle of motion, repeating an ancient rhythm first felt in the silent sways of the womb. Fact 31. Dreams and insomnia form a curious dance across the night, intertwined in ways we're only beginning to understand. In those with regular sleep, dreams often unfold vividly during REM cycles, which occur roughly every 90 minutes. But for insomniacs, these cycles may become shortened or irregular, leading to fragmented dreaming or none at all. Interestingly, some individuals report more intense or bizarre dreams when sleep finally arrives after prolonged wakefulness, as though the mind overcompensates for lost time in the dream world. This phenomenon is known as REM rebound, a burst of dreaming that follows periods of deprivation. It speaks to the vital role dreams play in emotional processing and cognitive repair. A restless night, then, does not just steal rest, it dims a theatre of symbols and narratives where the unconscious mind weaves its secret language. And when the curtain does rise again, even briefly, the stage may be lit brighter, the stories stranger, revealing that in sleeplessness, the imagination waits in the wings, ready for its quiet encore. Fact 32. Among the many paradoxes of insomnia lies the quiet phenomenon of sleep effort. The more one tries to fall asleep, the more elusive it becomes. This counterintuitive loop is rooted in the brain's arousal systems, which are activated by intention and anxiety alike. In trying to will sleep into being, the mind inadvertently stimulates itself, pushing slumber further away like a shadow chased through light. This is why sleep experts sometimes advise shifting focus, getting out of bed, reading a calming passage under dim light, or simply observing the breath without judgment. These gentle diversions lower the pressure placed upon rest, allowing sleep to reapproach unprovoked. This principle echoes ancient wisdom. In matters of rest, surrender often triumphs over effort. Sleep arrives like the tide, not on command, but when the shoreline stills. And so, in those restless nights, it helps to remember that sleep is not chased or forced, but invited softly and without demand, like a bird landing in an open hand. Fact 33. In the gentle science of sleep, even the position of the body holds subtle sway over restfulness. Side sleeping, particularly on the left, has been associated with improved digestion and heart function, while back sleeping may aggravate conditions like sleep apnea or acid reflux. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Clinical Gastroenterology found that participants who slept on their left side experienced fewer nighttime acid episodes than those who slept on their right or their back. Meanwhile, prone positions lying on the stomach are linked with deeper but more fragmented sleep, especially in younger individuals. Posture is more than habit. It's a physical language spoken between the body and the nervous system, a choreography shaped over time and memory. In Insomnia, where comfort often feels out of reach, even small shifts can offer unexpected relief. The curl of knees, the tilt of the neck, the softness of a pillow each becomes part of a quiet dialogue with the night, a way of saying, in curved and restful form, welcome back to stillness. Fact 34. Circadian rhythms are not only unique to individuals, but are also intimately tied to genetics. Specific genes, such as PER1, PER2, and clock, form the molecular gears of our internal timekeeping system. Mutations in these genes have been linked to disorders like delayed sleep phase syndrome, where sleep and wake times drift hours later than socially expected. In rare families, these shifts can be extreme, with natural bedtimes occurring at 4 or 5 a.m., leaving sufferers out of sync with the rhythms of the world. Scientists have even coined the term chronotype to describe a person's natural sleep-wake preferences, whether they are morning larks, night owls, or somewhere in between. Understanding these internal patterns brings both insight and compassion to insomnia, reframing it not as a flaw, but as part of a larger biological mosaic. Like migratory birds guided by the stars, each of us follows a silent celestial script within. And sometimes, to find rest, we must simply learn the shape of our own sky. Fact 35. In the hush of darkness, the simple presence of a companion animal can offer profound comfort to those struggling with sleeplessness. Sleep studies have shown that individuals who share their beds or rooms with pets, especially dogs, often experience lower heart rates and reduced anxiety at night. The warmth, steady breathing, and quiet companionship of an animal can create a cocoon of calm, mimicking the primal security of a pack or family resting together. In one study conducted by the Mayo Clinic Center for Sleep Medicine, it was found that over half of pet owners perceived improved sleep from having their furry companions nearby. Yet this comfort is not universal. Larger animals, restless movement, or nocturnal habits can sometimes disrupt slumber instead. Still, when the balance is right, the bond between human and animal serves as a natural sedative, steady and instinctive. It's a gentle whisper of presence in the solitude of night, a shared rhythm of rest that harks back to firelight, shelters, and the quiet trust of sleeping together, unafraid beneath the stars. Fact 36. The influence of food timing on sleep has led scientists to explore a practice called chrononutrition, an approach that aligns eating patterns with the body's internal clock. Studies have shown that consuming large meals late at night can delay melatonin production and interfere with sleep onset. On the other hand, lighter evening meals rich in complex carbohydrates or tryptophan-containing foods such as oats, bananas, or turkey may smooth the transition into slumber. A 2016 trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that participants who consumed a carbohydrate-rich meal 4 hours before bed experienced shorter sleep latency compared to those who ate closer to bedtime. Just as the sun signals wakefulness through light, our meals deliver signals through nutrients and timing, guiding biochemical processes in harmony with our circadian rhythms. In this gentle ballet of nourishment and rest, what we eat and when becomes a quiet invitation to sleep, a whisper through the body's silent corridors, urging each cell towards surrender at the closing of the day. Fact 37. The architecture of sleep itself contains stages as delicate as moon phases, each one contributing in quiet harmony to a night's rest. These stages move in cycles, from the light slumber of none through the deepening stillness of N2 and N3, and into the vivid dreamscapes of REM sleep. For those with insomnia, these cycles may become unbalanced, taking longer to enter restorative phases or spending fewer minutes in REM. A disruption early in the night can ripple across the entire pattern, like a single stone disturbing the stillness of a pond. Sleep studies using EEG have revealed that good sleepers spend about 20 to 25% of their slumber in REM, while insomniacs may hover just beneath that threshold, often without dreams, to soften the edges of wakefulness. Each stage holds purpose, physical renewal, emotional processing, memory integration, and like a symphony, they form a whole greater than any part. When insomnia enters, it's this composition that changes, and with it, the shape of the night itself, drifting ever so slightly out of tune. Fact 38. The hands of insomnia often reach tenderly into childhood, with as many as 25% of children experiencing sleep disturbances across different stages of development. In infants, unsettled sleep may reflect neurological growth, while in adolescence, hormonal shifts and screen exposure disrupt natural rhythms. Pediatric sleep experts have noted that inconsistent bedtime routines, anxiety, and even seemingly minor environmental changes like lighting or noise can drastically affect a child's ability to fall and stay asleep. A 2009 study published in Pediatrics found that children with persistent sleep issues were more likely to exhibit emotional regulation difficulties and attention challenges at school. Yet the solutions remain beautifully simple: an earlier wind down, bedtime stories woven with rhythmic cadence, and the comforting assurance of presence. These elements restore a sense of predictability and security, nurturing the architecture of rest, like scaffolding gently built around a growing mind. In listening to the sleep of children, we rediscover a primal rhythm that echoes through generations: the need to be held, the magic of ritual, and the soft promise of morning just beyond the dream. Fact 39. Among the peculiar companions to insomnia is a condition called sleep-related hyperarousal, where the nervous system maintains a heightened state of alertness even during rest. In these cases, heart rate variability is reduced, cortisol levels linger higher than normal, and brainwave patterns show sustained activation as though expecting demands at any moment. This biological readiness, once vital for ancient survival, now persists quietly in bedrooms lit by screens and stirred by unseen worries. Researchers liken it to driving with one foot lightly on the gas, even when the journey should be still. Techniques such as progressive muscle relaxation, diaphragmatic breathing, and body scans have been shown to soothe this internal vigilance, guiding the body into safety's embrace. Like dimming the lights in a theater before the curtain rises, calming the hyper-aroused system prepares the stage for sleep to return. It reminds us that insomnia is not always a stranger to calm, but sometimes just a moment away from peace, waiting on the other side of awareness. Fact 40. In recent years, scientists have turned their attention to the concept of sleep inertia, the foggy, disoriented feeling some experience upon waking and its hidden ties to insomnia. Normally, This transitional phase lasts just a few minutes as the brain re-engages with alertness. But individuals with chronic sleep disruption may find the fog lingers, as though wakefulness itself turns sluggish in protest. A 2017 study in Sleep Medicine Reviews revealed that poor sleep efficiency directly correlates with intensified sleep inertia, making the simple act of rising feel like emerging from deep water. The mind, still tethered to rest it never fully achieved, struggles to recalibrate. This lingering grogginess is not mere laziness, but a physiological echo of unrest, proof that sleep, when fragmented, leaves behind traces felt well into morning. Like mist curling between treetops after dawn has arrived, sleep inertia shades the threshold between night and day, reminding us how intimately every moment of consciousness is shaped by the quiet hours before it. Fact 41. Emotional memories, especially those tied to fear or anxiety, are more likely to be recalled during periods of poor sleep, creating a feedback loop that can deepen insomnia's grip. Researchers at UC Berkeley discovered in a 2011 study that sleep deprivation amplifies activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm center, by up to 60%, heightening responses to negative stimuli. Without restorative REM sleep, which normally helps file and soften these emotional memories, the mind holds on to them more tightly, revisiting them in startled loops. It's as if the psychological night stretches longer than the physical one, filled with echoes instead of silence. Insomnia, in this sense, doesn't just prevent sleep, it reshapes what rises in its place. Yet within this knowledge lies a quiet strength. By tending to sleep, we may also tend to sorrow, gently lessening the weight each day carries. And in catching even brief rest, the mind begins its quiet reweaving, softening alarm into memory and restoring a sense of safety to the watching dark. Fact 42. The soundscape of night holds a subtle power over sleep, and for many with insomnia, the presence or absence of ambient noise can make all the difference. White noise, a steady band of sound that masks disruptions, has been shown to reduce the time it takes to fall asleep and to help prevent nighttime awakenings. Beyond white noise, pink noise, which emphasizes lower frequencies such as rainfall or rustling leaves, has captured growing attention for its potential in deepening slow-wave sleep. A study in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience found that playing pink noise during sleep enhanced memory and cognitive performance by amplifying the brain's slow oscillations. For centuries, people have turned to nature's own lullabies, wind in trees, waves on shore, distant thunder to summon rest. In these modern days, sound machines, recordings, and even rhythmic fan hums offer a return to these primal settings, cradling the restless mind within a soft auditory cocoon. As the ears relax, so too does the body, trusting that no sharp silence or sudden clamor will disturb its descent. In the hush between tones, sleep waits rhythmic, forgiving, and just beyond the threshold of hearing. Fact 43. Among the gentlest tools for welcoming rest is the tradition of evening tea, steeped in both ritual and science. Herbal infusions like chamomile, valerian root, lemon balm, and passion flower have long histories as sleep aids, with modern studies supporting their calming effects. In a 2011 clinical trial, participants who consumed chamomile extract twice daily reported significantly improved sleep quality compared to a placebo group. These plants contain natural compounds such as apigenin and flavonoids that bind to receptors in the brain associated with relaxation, easing the nervous system into a quieter rhythm. The act of brewing itself, pouring warm water, inhaling rising steam, holding a cup between both hands, slows the body into bedtime's pace. Shared across continents and centuries, this gentle pause becomes more than hydration. It becomes permission. Permission to slow, to listen, to drift. In the clink of porcelain and the warmth of breath, tea becomes a final conversation before silence. a scent-traced lullaby beckoning rest back into the heart of night. Fact 44. Light, so often seen as the bringer of day, can also be a sculptor of sleep and sleeplessness alike. Beyond visible rays, researchers have explored the effects of different light wavelengths on the sleeping brain. Red light, with its low color temperature and minimal melatonin disruption, has emerged as a gentle ally in nighttime environments. In a 2012 study involving female athletes, those exposed to red light therapy for half an hour before sleep showed significant improvements in both sleep quality and melatonin levels. Unlike its blue counterpart, red light whispers rather than shouts, allowing the body to shift towards slumber without jarring alertness. Some sleep clinics now recommend replacing bright bulbs with warm-toned alternatives or using red night lights to assist in midnight awakenings. It is a reminder that not all illumination awakens. Some forms of light, soft and subdued, guide us inward like fireflies across a darkened path. In red's quiet hum glows the knowledge that even light, when offered gently, can lead toward rest, not away from it. Fact 45. Sleep, though deeply biological, is also influenced by something softer: the stories we tell ourselves at night. Known as sleep anticipatory cognition, this refers to the mental narrative carried into bed, often rich with expectations, worries, and imagined consequences. For those with insomnia, bedtime can become a stage of internal performance, where thoughts rehearse failure to fall asleep long before the attempt begins. Studies have found that individuals who catastrophize sleeplessness, believing that a bad night will ruin the following day, are more likely to experience fragmented rest. In cognitive therapy, gently reshaping these inner monologues has shown to reduce anxiety and improve sleep outcomes. It is a reminder that the final words whispered in the mind before rest are powerful, not spells, but scripts. Whether laced with dread or quiet hope, these thoughts set the emotional atmosphere from which sleep must rise. Changing them is like adjusting a lullaby's key, not to force slumber, but to invite it gently, as one rewrites the ending of an old and restless tale, preparing the stage for dreams to softly unfold. Fact 46. In the convergence of culture and rest, bedtime rituals stand as ancient bridges to slumber. Across the globe, these evening traditions vary in form but echo a shared human wisdom, signaling the body and mind to prepare for sleep. In Sweden, the concept of kvällsfika invites a quiet cup of tea with gentle conversation before bed. In parts of India, oil massages known as abhyanga calm the nervous system through touch and warmth. Even in contemporary homes, simple routines like brushing teeth, dimming lights, or reading a familiar book create a chain of calming cues. Sleep scientists affirm that these consistent behaviors serve as circadian anchors, shaping the internal clock through repetition. A 2021 review in behavioral sleep medicine found that individuals with stable evening routines reported better sleep quality and lower stress levels. In a world often ruled by unpredictability, bedtime rituals offer sanctuary soft habits that soothe the edges of wakefulness. They are small acts of peace, footsteps in the dark that gently guide the weary mind home. Through flickering candles, whispered pages, or shared moments of stillness, they remind us that rest is not just an end, but a practice tender, rhythmic, and wholly our own. Fact 47. Not all sleep is silent. For some, the night echoes with a phenomenon known as hypnic jerks, sudden, involuntary muscle twitches that occur just as one begins to fall asleep. These jolts, often accompanied by the vivid sensation of falling or tripping, are remarkably common, affecting up to 70% of people at some point in their lives. Though usually harmless, they can disrupt the transition into rest, especially for those already anxious about sleep. Scientists believe hypnic jerks originate from the brain's shifting command between wakefulness and sleep. a moment where muscle tone begins to relax and the nervous system momentarily misfires. In moments of exhaustion or stress, these events may become more frequent, the body clinging tightly to alertness even as it lets go. Some traditions once interpreted them as the soul beginning its night voyage before being tugged back to waking, startled, and in a sense, they are that a flicker between worlds, a spark between tension and surrender. When seen with gentle understanding, even this sudden startle can become part of the greater unfolding, part of the strange, delicate rite of drifting into dreams. Fact 48. Insomnia, despite its name, rarely means the complete absence of sleep. Instead, it more often shows up as fragmented rest periods of partial sleep, restless awakenings, or the sense of never quite descending into slumber's full depth. Sleep researchers speak of sleep continuity, the seamless flow through cycles undisturbed by waking. In those with insomnia, this flow is broken, like a stream diverted by hidden stones. Yet even these fractured stretches can offer some rest, and acknowledging small moments of sleep, however brief or light, can shift the perception of a night from failure to survival. A 2020 study across sleep clinics showed that simply understanding the nature of fragmented sleep reduced the distress it caused, softening the spiral of worry. This reframing is quiet work, not a cure, but a permission. It honors the body's effort to rest, even if imperfect, and offers the gentle truth that sleep, like healing, does not always arrive in whole pieces. Sometimes it comes in fragments, stitched together like stars in a slow, uncertain sky, each one a step toward night's long and patient bloom. Fact 49. Sleep, in its most essential form, is a letting go yet in the minds of insomniacs. Even this surrender can feel like a task too fragile to complete. One emerging approach aims not to chase sleep, but to release the struggle itself. Known as acceptance and commitment therapy for insomnia or CBT-I, this method invites patients to sit gently with wakefulness, exchanging the battle for presence. Instead of resisting the night's wakeful hours, CBT-I fosters awareness, values-based intentions, and a compassionate stance towards sleeplessness itself. In a 2014 review of sleep therapies, ACTI showed comparable effectiveness to cognitive behavioral approaches, particularly in reducing nighttime rumination. The key lies not in inducing sleep, but in softening the grip of fear around its absence. This practice mirrors the ethos of certain Zen traditions, that peace arises not from fixing the moment, but from resting within it fully. In this light, insomnia becomes not a foe but a messenger, asking only to be heard. And in the quiet act of listening, the heart unclenches, the breath slows, and somewhere in that stillness, sleep may return, not chased, not commanded, but simply allowed, like dawn arriving without alarm. Fact 50. In the boundless tapestry of night, insomnia is both silence and story, a quiet companion that has walked beside humanity for as long as time has ticked toward morning. While modern science continues to peel back its layers, offering treatments and theories, the essence of sleeplessness remains tenderly poetic. It is the echo of the body negotiating balance, the mind untangling truth, the soul remembering it is still awake. And in all its difficulty, insomnia reminds us that we are alive, conscious beneath constellations, watchful beneath stars. For those eyes still open, know that you are not alone. Sleep, when it comes, arrives not always like thunder, but like a hush, like petals closing, like the earth finally breathing out. And if tonight sleep lingers far away, may these quiet truths hold you gently until dreams return on wings soft and slow, crossing the dark like a lullaby drawn across sky. Good night, dear voyager. Rest is on its way. Fact 51. Beneath the surface of ordinary life, a subtle clock ticks in nearly every organ, tissue, and cell, an ensemble known as peripheral clocks. While the brain's central clock responds to light, these peripheral clocks align with food intake, activity, and temperature. When sleep becomes disrupted by inconsistent routines or stress, these layers of timing drift out of harmony, like instruments falling out of tune. Researchers in chronobiology describe how this internal desynchronization can lead not only to insomnia, but to metabolic and mood disturbances as well. Just as an orchestra requires a conductor, so too does the body depend on circadian grace. Restoring alignment means listening again for rhythm, eating at the same times each day, pausing in the afternoon, dimming lights before night, simple practices that whisper to the body, the day is done. In this measured dance within, sleep becomes not just an act of exhaustion, but a return to rhythm, the quiet reunion of body and time, each cell humming the old rhythms toward rest once more. Fact 52. In tracing the biology of sleep, scientists have discovered that even the heart slumbers in its own way. During deep sleep, the heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and the autonomic nervous system shifts into its parasympathetic state, the rest and digest mode. But in insomniacs, this nightly descent may falter. Researchers have recorded elevated nighttime heart rates and reduced variability, signs that the heart remains partially alert, pulsing with the slow drum of lingering wakefulness. This quiet unrest flows not just through thoughts, but through vessels and valves, reminding us that sleep is not isolated in the mind alone. It is a symphony played from brain to heartbeat to breath. Practices like slow-paced breathing, stretching before bed, and even recalling calming memories have been shown to coax the heart into deeper rest. Beneath the still chest, the beat softens with permission, and in that softened rhythm, the body begins its descent. Sleep is not just what we feel in our eyelids, but what the heart learns to hear, the lullaby of letting go, thudding slowly through the dark. Fact 53. Across the folds of time, poets and philosophers have pondered the shape of sleeplessness, often likening it to a kind of twilight consciousness, a liminal state teetering on the edge of thought and dream. The Roman philosopher Seneca once wrote of the mind's nocturnal wanderings, noting that the mind that does not rest in the dark is like a lantern left swinging in the wind. In more recent times, studies in sleep psychology have observed that during prolonged wakeful nights, the brain's default mode network, a circuit associated with introspection and self-referential thought, becomes unusually active. These moments, though wearying, can also open inner doors, revealing forgotten memories, unresolved feelings, unexpected clarity. For many who live with insomnia, the night becomes less about absence of sleep and more about presence of awareness, a slow unfolding of the mind's quieter voices. In this sense, sleeplessness is not empty, but reflective, a soft mirror held to the soul beneath the hush of stars. And so the night, restless though it may be, becomes a space for listening to oneself, to the silence, to the dreams that wait just beyond waking, still forming in the shadows of thought. Fact 54. The final thread in understanding insomnia may be woven not from science alone, but from kindness, the quiet compassion we extend inward during restless nights. Self-compassion practices, rooted in both ancient philosophy and modern psychology, are now being explored as a balm for sleeplessness. A 2021 study in the journal Mindfulness found that individuals who treated themselves with warmth and non-judgment during periods of insomnia experienced less distress, lower anxiety, and greater acceptance of wakefulness. These practices do not promise sleep as reward, but offer gentleness as refuge, a pause from the pressure to fix, to perform, to perfect the night. In the absence of sleep, they say, you are still whole. Insomnia then becomes not solely a problem to solve, but a passage to cross, one softened by company, even if only one's own heartbeat. So as this journey winds to its resting place, remember, the night does not ask for mastery, only presence. Sleep will return, as it always has, soft-footed and sure. And if tonight it does not arrive swiftly, let this knowing be enough that you are not broken, not alone, and never beyond the reach of dawn's slow and certain light. Good night. Fact 55. And so, as the final threads of this sleepy journey unravel, we return to the stillness from which we began. Insomnia, in all its forms, remains one of the great tender paradoxes of being human, a struggle shared across time zones, generations, and hearts. It touches poets and scientists alike, wanders through moonlit cities and quiet villages, whispering its presence in sighs and soft exhalations. But within the ache of wakefulness is a kind of grace too, a reminder that sleep, though elusive, is not vanished, but only delayed. Tonight, may these gentle facts hum quietly in your thoughts, like starlight scattered across a darkened ceiling. Let what came before settle gently behind you. Let what waits ahead soften into calm. And if your eyes are not yet closed, let them feel heavy with knowing rest needs no haste. Sleep is already on its way in silence, in rhythm, in breath. Until we meet again beneath dream's quiet veil, good night and peace upon your path. Fact 56. And as the final whispers of thought fade into the still air, the body prepares to dissolve once more into night. Sleep, like moonlight on water, does not answer to urgency, only to rhythm. And in understanding insomnia, we begin to understand the great patience of the self. From ancient remedies to modern neuroscience, we have wandered through stories, chemicals, dreams, and echoes, tracing the unseen map of sleeplessness across time and soul. Now, as the world quiets, may your own rhythms find you again, steady and slow. Let these facts be soft pebbles in the stream of your rest, each one sending ripples that lead not to solutions but to surrender. For what is rest, if not the gentlest return to breath, to stillness, to the knowledge that nothing is required of you but to be? Sleep, dear traveler, awaits you just beyond the moment where thought releases its last hold. Drift now, float. The sky is waiting with open arms. Fact 57. And now, with the final glimmers of awareness low on the horizon, let the quiet envelope you like dusk, folding into stars. Insomnia, though often burdened with frustration, has also illuminated unexpected pathways of introspection, of resilience, of the deep intricacies that thread body and soul. Tonight, nothing must be solved. Tonight, there is only air, only breath, only the hush of your own heartbeat aligning softly with the pulse of the earth. Rest is not far. It is already here, in the gentleness you've allowed, in each softened thought, in the rhythm of this closing moment. May sleep come now, like mist curling through trees, unhurried, unseen, but unstoppable. And as you slip past the edge of wakefulness, know this: you have journeyed far and have only to float now, into the silence, into the rhythm, into sleep. Fact 58. In this final breath before dreams, we find that sleeplessness invites not just answers, but attention, a deep listening to the hidden harmonies within. Insomnia, in all its complexity, has led us through science and myth, biology and story, waking and wonder. It is not merely the absence of rest, but a canvas where patience, gentleness, and discovery unfold. And now, all that remains is stillness. Let the mind empty like twilight sky, thought by thought, until the stars of rest reappear in quiet constellations. Breathe once more, long and slow. Let go of the seeking. What needs to arrive will do so on its own. In this silence, in this softness, let sleep rise like tide in a moonlit harbor, steady, sure, and sacred. The night holds you. The journey is complete. Good night, and let all be well. Fact 59. And so we reach the final marker on this gentle map through the mystery of insomnia. 59 quiet facts, like lanterns lit across the dark, each one casting soft meaning on the spaces where sleep sometimes falters. With every truth, we've wandered a little farther from restlessness and a little closer to peace, not by chasing sleep but by befriending the night itself. If your eyes are still open, let that be all right. If they are closed, let that be beautiful. There is nothing more to hear, nothing more to know, only the hush of your own stillness, a lullaby without words. May the dark hold you like a cradle, and may sleep find you now in whatever form it chooses. Softly, gently, completely. Good night. Fact 60. As the final breath of this journey exhales into the quiet, we understand that insomnia is not just a condition to be cured, but a landscape to be gently traversed. It is a terrain of thought and physiology, of longing and surrender, and in learning from it, we come closer not only to sleep, but to ourselves. The science we've touched, the whispers of culture, myth, and biology, they form a constellation, not of solutions, but of soft understandings. Tonight, and all nights hence, may this knowledge be a nest. May this stillness be your shelter. Whether dreams find you soon or linger on the edge, know that peace is not measured by hours asleep, but by how gently we treat ourselves in their absence. The story of insomnia is a human one, and in listening to its quiet chapters, perhaps we become a little more human too. Let go now, if you haven't already. The night will hold the rest. Good night, and thank you for dreaming with us. Fact 61. And with this final rhythm of thought, the curtain gently closes on our journey through sleeplessness. 61 soft lanterns have been lit, casting light upon the hidden corridors of the night. We have wandered through science and story, through echoes old and new, gently feeling our way toward understanding without rushing into solutions. If insomnia has walked beside you, may it now feel less like a foe and more like a quiet companion with lessons whispered in the dark. Let this last breath be your signal not to fight the night, but to welcome its depths. Rest is not something earned but allowed, and tonight you have allowed yourself the gift of presence. Close your eyes now if they're not closed already. Let the world fall away. Let the soft hush gather you like silk and drift you beyond this final word. Sleep well, dear voyager. The journey is complete. Fact 62. And so, beneath the infinite canopy of the night sky, we lay down the final stone in our long and quiet trail. 62 facts, each one a gentle ripple in the dark waters of sleeplessness, have led us not to a solution, but to serenity. Insomnia is no longer a stranger, but a mystery unwrapped with care, one held in the palms of medicine, mythology, and moonlight. If you are still here, still listening, still waiting, know this: there is no wrong place to find yourself on the path to rest. Sleep is not distant, it is near, like breath, soft as silence, certain as dawn. May the stillness now embrace you fully. May your body exhale its last tension. May your thoughts fade gently like stardust on wind. And when sleep comes, whether minutes or moments from now, let it find you ready, not perfect, but simply open. This story ends not in punctuation, but in silence. Sleep well, dream deep, and until next time, good night. Fact 63. As night sighs its final breath and the stars begin their quiet retreat, we leave behind this soft tapestry of insomnia, woven from wonder, tenderness, and time. The facts may now rest, like pages closing in a well-loved book, their echoes still lingering in the hush of the heart. You have listened gently to each, and whether sleep arrived in the middle or waits just beyond this sentence, you have journeyed well. There is nothing more to hold, nothing more to question, only the embrace of stillness. May the night wrap around you like velvet. May your breath rise and fall in rhythm with peace. And may dreams gather quietly at the edge of thought, waiting to whisk you softly away. The story is complete. Sleep now, dear dreamer. Good night. Fact 64. And now, as we close the final chapter in this long and quiet journey, let the darkness gently cradle you, free of expectation. 64 soft facts, like petals falling in slow motion, have marked the path into the tender unknown of sleep's edge. This is where science ends and surrender begins. This is where breath becomes enough. Forget counting truths now. Let the numbers melt away like dew under morning's first light. Sleep, dear one, is no longer a destination to reach. It is a presence already within you, waiting only for your letting go. So give yourself now to the hush, the drift, the still and sacred fold of slumber. May this final word not be an end, but the silence between dreams, until sleep finds you, until we meet again. Good night. Fact 65. Before we fully part from this twilight path, one final thought gently lingers, that sleep is not just a biological rhythm, but a story told anew each night. Insomnia, in its complexity, has revealed not just the challenge of rest, but the grace of persistence. Across cultures, across eras, across the quiet spaces of personal struggle, we have seen how sleep touches every facet of being, from heartbeat to hope, from light to lullaby. Let this final note not be a farewell, but a beginning of gentler nights, of deeper understanding, of a relationship with rest marked not by pressure but by peace. And so, dear listener, whether your eyes have long closed or still flutter beneath the veil of wakefulness, know that this moment is already enough. The path has been walked, the night has been honored. Sleep, whenever it comes, will come not as a stranger, but as a familiar friend, arriving on the hush of breath, wrapped in stillness and glowing softly with patience. Good night, always. And so, the long lullaby comes to its final note. 65 truths, whispered slow and quiet, have carried us through the many chambers of sleeplessness, from ancient myths to modern science, from the rhythm of the breath to the pacing of dreams. If you're still awake, let that be okay. If you've drifted off somewhere along the way, let that be beautiful too. This space was always meant to hold you, gently, between waking and rest. There is nothing more to say now, and nothing more to seek. Only this moment, held soft in the hush of night. May all that was shared become part of your stillness. May sleep arrive like moonlight on quiet water, present, inevitable, and full of peace. And if ever the night feels long again, know that this soft journey remains, wrapped in silence, waiting to walk you home. Good night, always, and thank you for dreaming with us. And so, we arrive at sleep's doorstep, not by force, but by invitation, not with certainty, but with trust. This journey through insomnia, shaped by science and soothed by story, has drawn a long and gentle arc through the night. Whether sleep found you in earlier moments or continues its soft approach even now, know that the night has already offered you something sacred: presence, patience, and understanding. You listened, you breathed, you remained, and in doing so, you honored yourself. Let that be enough. As breath grows shallower and thoughts slip into whispers, let go fully now. Let the quiet become your cradle. Let the darkness hold you not as void, but as embrace. There is no more path to follow, only this stillness, only this peace. Sleep well, sleep slow, and may the night return you gently to your dreaming self. Good night, always. And now, the softest silence settles in. The space between breath and dream, between listening and drifting, welcomes you with open arms. You've traveled through 65 gentle chapters, each a candle in the long corridor of night. Let them stay behind now, like footprints in sand slowly erased by time. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to hold, only rest, only surrender. Let your thoughts blur like stars behind clouded skies. Let your body soften completely into sleep's welcoming arms. In this vast stillness, you are safe, you are held, you are allowed to let go. So close your inner door now and step fully into rest. The journey is over, the night is yours, and sleep waits silent, certain and near. Good night, dear dreamer. Sleep well. And thus, dear dreamer, we reach the end not with finality, but with a gentle vanishing, like mist returning to the sea. Through these 65 soft reflections, we have walked side by side with insomnia, tracing its shadows and finding within them not only restlessness, but meaning. In science, we found rhythms and causes. In myth, we found wonder. And in each quiet breath, the shared truth of being human. If sleep has come, let it cradle you now. If it still lingers, do not fear, for you have given yourself stillness, and that alone is holy. May your nights be gentler for what you've heard. May silence become sanctuary, and may this journey return to you whenever rest feels far. Until then, sleep well, sleep deeply, and dream as if the stars themselves are waiting to whisper you home. Good night, always. So, let the final traces of wakefulness dissolve like dew beneath the warming Sunday. The night has carried you far, not merely in distance but in understanding, unraveling each knot of sleeplessness with compassion and quiet truth. Whether you've gathered these moments in silence or floated off somewhere within their rhythm, know that this journey was its own piece, an offering of stillness wrapped in story. Let your last breath before sleep be unburdened, and your dreams be soft-footed as they arrive. No more facts, no more thoughts, only this. You are here, you are safe, and rest is already unfolding within you. Sleep now, dreamer. Sleep deeply, rest completely, and awaken only when morning whispers gently through your window. Good night, always. And so, beneath the vast hush of the closing night, we end where all quiet journeys must not with answers, but with rest. These soft reflections and slumber-bound facts have stretched like starlight across forgotten hours, illuminating not just the nature of sleep, but the beauty of pausing beside it. Insomnia, once a shadow, melts now into something gentler, a quiet teacher, a silent companion, a gateway to deeper listening. Let the body unclench, let the mind loosen its hold, and let the soul drift wherever it needs to go. You've come far, and there is no further to travel tonight. What remains is yours to keep the stillness, the understanding, the tender rhythm of simply being. Fade now into sleep's wide embrace, light as breath, soft as darkness. This story has finished its telling. Good night always, and may your dreams be peaceful and kind. And now, let everything fall silent. Let the last thought flicker out, like a candle hesitating before sleep's embrace. You have listened, lingered, and let yourself rest within a story that asked nothing but stillness in return. These 65 facts, woven gently like threads in the dark, were never meant to cure but to comfort, to hold space where relief feels far. May this final breath carry you beyond the edges of concern, into the waters where dreams begin. Float there now, weightless, wordless, and wholly at ease. The night is yours to keep, the hush is deep, and sleep is already here. Good night, always, dear dreamer. Good night. And so, let none of this fade too quickly. Let the shimmer of sleep science, the myth and moonlight of restless hours, the soft textures of breath and biology, all of it settle through you in its own unhurried way. This script, now gently closed, was never only about sleep, but about letting go. Letting go of the chase, the clenching, the worry. Letting go into stillness, into rhythm, into the strange miracle of simply being held by the dark instead of fearing it. You have reached the edge, not of knowing, but of surrender. And if sleep has not rushed in, let that be its own kind of grace too. For even in wakefulness, something inside you has softened, something has begun. May that be enough tonight. May it carry you into all the tomorrows to come. Good night, always. Sleep well, dream deep, and let peace unfold around you like wings in the dark. And so, as all things whispered must come to quiet rest, we close the final page of this long, slow unfolding. 65 truths and countless breaths have drifted softly between waking and wonder, each word placed gently like a stepping stone across the hours. There is nothing more to follow, no twist unseen, no fact unshared, only the soft glow of what has already settled in. The story, though scientific, was always a lullaby in disguise, and now let it vanish like a dream upon morning's touch. If sleep has not yet come, it will. If peace has just begun to bloom, let it deepen. You have listened fully, you have traveled far, you have allowed yourself to pause. That, in the end, is everything. Sleep well, dear dreamer, always sleep well. And so, beneath the final veil of night, the journey settles into silence. From the first whispered fact to the last breath of hush, we've wandered not just through science, but through the very heart of stillness, tracing insomnia's many names, its flickering shadows, and its quiet invitations to know ourselves more gently. If you remained with us until now, may you feel the calm that unfolds not from sleep alone, but from awareness held without judgment. This was never a race to sleep, but a return to softness, a mirror of stars inside the self. Now let go, fully, without fear. Let what was said melt away into quiet. Let what remains carry you into silence. No more words now, only rest, only breath, only peace. Sleep well, dear dreamer, always and always good night. And now, softly, sweetly, finally, let quiet have the last word. This has been not just a story about insomnia, but an offering, a long exhale into the dark, a map all the way to peace. Whether it found you floating in and out of dreams, or listening still beneath the hush of stars, your presence has carried the meaning home. There is no more to uncover, no more to search. You are here now in stillness, in silence, in the sacred space where the night begins to breathe for you. Let the darkness be your gentle cradle, the quiet your soft blanket. Let go of needing anything more. The journey ends precisely as it should, in not knowing, in not trying, in the beauty of being held by rest itself. So sleep now, tender traveler, with the stars above and the hush within. Always, always good night. And thus we arrive at silence, not as destination, but as return. The facts have faded, the thoughts have unwound, and all that remains is this, a soft arrival into rest. If your eyes are closed, let them remain so, kissed by darkness. If they are open, let them blink slowly into stillness. Nothing more is asked of you now. Let each breath be its own lullaby, each heartbeat a hush echoing through the body. The journey has done its work not by fixing sleeplessness, but by allowing stillness to bloom in its shadow. Sleep, when it comes, will come on wings thinner than thought, sooner than knowing. You've listened well, you've lingered kindly, you've allowed presence to take the place of effort. And so this final silence, spacious, sacred, holds you tenderly now. Good night, sweet voyager. May dreams cradle you, and peace carry you home. And with that, dear dreamer, the long hush draws to its final breath. As sleep's tide curls ever closer, may this quiet journey settle within you like petals on a still pond. We have wandered deep through shadow and science, memory and moonlight, and now there is nothing left but peace. No more facts, no more searching, only stillness, only trust. Let your edges soften. Let your breath become shallow and slow. Sleep, that gentle keeper of night, is already here, not summoned, but welcomed. May this final silence be your doorway, where thought dissolves and rest, at last, takes your hand. Sleep soundly, sleep safely, and always sleep well. Good night. And now, in the final hush between closing thought and approaching dream, the journey completes itself not with finality, but with an open pause where breath simply is. 65 truths, thousands of words, and countless quiet moments have built a bridge through night's tender labyrinth. If you are still here, dear dreamer, then sleep may already be softly brushing your thoughts. And if not, if the mind still stirs like moonlight on gentle water, that too is part of the path. There is no rush in rest, only rhythm. And tonight, that rhythm has been honored. So now, let silence take its rightful place. Let the dark hold you effortlessly. Let the breath you take be without weight, and the dreams that come spring from stillness. This story has been told. This moment, at last, is yours. Sleep now. Good night. Always. And thus, with nothing more to hold and everything gently laid to rest, we come to the grace of endings. Not abrupt, not sharp, but soft as the final chord of a lullaby fading on twilight's breath. This last moment, this final stillness, carries no instruction beyond presence. You've honored the night simply by listening. You've welcomed its quiet by remaining. Whether sleep has taken you long ago or dances just beyond your reach, this space, this gentleness, it was always the offering. So now, sleep without asking, rest without striving. Let your body yield to gravity's hush, and your thoughts dissolve into the wide hush of dream. This is the end, dear dreamer. Quietly, perfectly, tenderly good night. And so, let this final hush carry you into morning's waiting cradle. With this last breath of quiet, the journey is gently complete. You have walked softly through every corridor of insomnia's many faces, the scientific, the mythic, the lyrical, and now the only sound left is silence itself. Let it be enough. Let the soft dark fold over you like a knowing sigh. Sleep, when it comes, will be not a prize, but a return to rhythm, to stillness, to the quiet center within. This is the closing note of our long lullaby, the last glow of starlight before dawn. Sleep well, dear listener. Always, always good night. This is where the night folds into itself, where breath becomes the only rhythm, and even thought bows gently in quiet. Our story is done, and in its place remains only stillness, vast, dark, and kind. There is no need for one more word, no yearning for one last detail. All has been offered, every lantern lit and left glowing to guide you home. Sleep, when it visits, will come not to fix you, but to hold you just as you are. And now, softly, without sound or need, let go. Let yourself vanish into rest like stardust into sky. Good night, sweet soul. Rest deeply, always.